Hello, take two on this call. Sorry for everybody who tried logging in last night and couldn't find my call. We did it from 9 to 9:30, and for some reason it posted twice, so I went to delete the duplicate call and it deleted everything. So we're going to do this again. I don't expect, since this isn't a scheduled one, I don't expect anybody to really jump on this one, but I wanted to at least have somewhat of a recorded version of it for everybody who is listening to the playbacks. If anyone is on, can you give me a thumbs up or a heart just so I could know that we are moving? Thumbs up, hearts. Anybody there? Anybody? I could open my laptop and see. Oh, a heart, somebody's here. Okay, that's fine. So I'll go ahead and get going. So my topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about was creating your dream life, basically. Creating a life that you're happy about living, that you feel really good in, and how to achieve that. And a quick background on me and why this topic is really important to me is because it's something that I was able to achieve. And so I'm going to talk to you from experience, hopefully helping you shortcut some of the things that I had to learn the hard way, and also from a lot of work through going to different seminars, personal development over the last 4 years. And so I'll be giving you a lot of information and quotes and sayings from John Addison, Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, kind of a compilation of what I think would be a good 25-minute really direction for you to focus. So the other day we had Becky come on and she shared with us the possibilities of this business, and it's likely that your head's exploded. I mean, it's always extra especially exciting to me. I know I'm a numbers person, but it's always amazing to be able to see in numbers and hear from a person that we know, that we love, that's part of our family, that yes, this is not only possible, but she's done it, other people have done it, and you can do it too. So at the same time, you might be thinking, oh, I want to make $1 million. Yippee! I can do it. But maybe you need a little bit of narrowed down direction on how it is that we're going to do this, how we're going to move forward, creating a life that you're happy about and, you know, that you feel really good about, that you can feel fulfilled with. So I can speak from experience because prior to coming to Beachbody, I was going through a really difficult patch in life. I was an accounting manager for 13 years before Beachbody, but I had been laid off right after the birth of Angelina. I was married at the time for 10 years, and that was headed for really terrible places. It had actually been in a terrible place for a few years, and I had become somewhat of a martyr. I think a lot of people do that in bad relationships where they think, you know, I'm going to hold it together for the kids because that's, you know, what you should do. And sometimes, yes, absolutely, you know, every case is different. But I came to the point that I basically killed myself on the inside, to the point that I was lost. I didn't even know it. I was walking around smiling all the time because that's what I do, but I was not happy. I didn't know who I was anymore. I had no idea what I wanted out of life anymore. And I was kind of living in this cycle where in my mind I would tell myself, it is what it is. So, you know, you got to get used to it. You're facing bankruptcy now. You're going into foreclosure on your home. You're going to be the rest of your life struggling to make ends meet. And the only career path that you've done for 13 years is accounting, which I went to school for theater, for anybody that didn't know. Fun fact, I went to FIU theater, and I never finished. But to go from theater to accounting is quite a incongruent pattern. I think you can agree with me on that. And the reason why I went to accounting is because I'm detail oriented and I'm a hard worker. So those two things combined, you know, I wound up in an accounting position and did better and better and better. And, you know, just basically moved up to through the ranks. And, you know, like Dave Ward so often kind of calls it, you create these 5-star prisons where you're in this great career, you're getting a great paycheck. It's basically what you have experience in that you've been doing for all this time, but it's a prison because you feel stuck there. And, you know, and it's not for everybody, but for me, you know, at the end of the day, nothing about it made my heart happy. Nothing about it made me feel like, oh, I'm doing such good in the universe. You know, this is really helping other people, unless it was helping my boss, which maybe he'd appreciate it, maybe not. But, you know, I was lacking that in my career. My marriage was falling to pieces, my financial situation falling to pieces. So I had numbed myself to the point of losing myself with just this continual, it is what it is, you got to get through this. You're a fighter, you'll get through this. Smile and make everybody think it's okay. And that, little cycle turned into years, to the point that once I finally snapped out of it and woke up, I had to do a lot of soul searching to figure out and remember who I even was. I mean, it was to the point that I would, I hadn't gone clothes shopping in years, because, we hadn't had 2 cents to rub together for a couple of years while we were going through a lot of really nasty stuff. And when I finally decided to go shopping, thank you, Beachbody, I didn't even know what clothes I liked. I didn't know what style I liked. I mean, it was that bad that, and that's when I kind of started realizing, wow, I really let it get pretty far. And since then, I just dove right into personal development. It honestly all started at a yoga retreat that I took myself to. When all these other people at the end of the retreat went around a circle, and we each took a turn telling each other, what we thought of them. And I remember so many people telling me, and this was a year after my, separation. And I remember everybody around the circle telling me, oh, you're just so happy from the inside out. And, I remember one guy saying, I'd love to hug you really tight, but I think glitter might pop out of your head. And I was like, it was in those moments that I remembered, I'm a happy person. I'm energetic. I'm excited. I love life. I have all this passion for all these things that I had completely forgotten about. And so from right there, I remembered I had that little spark that said, you know what? You got to do you, boo. And I went right back into personal development, well, into it really for the first time ever. And I really just became very grounded in who I am. And it's a continual work, but I am confident. I'm solid. I know what I'm here for. I know what my purpose is. I'm fulfilled. I have glitter coming out of my pores, maybe. I don't know. But it's through this experience that I can look back now and say, wow, I was really lost. Wow, this personal development really is worthwhile. And it's something that no matter what course you take in life, whether you become a triple superstar diamond beach body coach or whatever it may be, this is something that's going to be with you for life. This is an improvement to yourself that you're doing for life. And not only for yourself, but everybody that you come into contact with, your family, your spouse, everything. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's going to tie in and along with Becky's information that she gave you, because you can see now, and I had asked you guys in the page under my announcement picture to write out some of your goals, and I really enjoyed reading all of those. I saw a lot of them with numbers, with six-figure incomes or certain star diamond ranks or this or that. I did see some other ones, and there was no right or wrong answer there. And it's really important that you start putting these goals out there, and then we can start fine-tuning them. So there was no wrong answer, but what I want you guys to recognize is that we're going to need an even clearer path. So yes, you want 6 figures, but why? And what is that going to give you? Because someday, let me tell you right now, someday along this journey, when you're doing your vital behaviors, when you are consistent with this business, when you are here for the long haul, I can't tell you when, but someday you are going to reach those income levels that you're working towards. It's going to happen. It's not just Becky got lucky. Becky did the work, and it's happened for Becky. Christy did the work. It's happened for Christy. And you see it over and over again, even within our team, where people have had the success as far as income goes with our opportunity. So it's really important. Let me get back to my notes because I'll start hopping around everywhere. That you decide who you are, okay? And that you decide what you want. If you don't know what you want, if you're kind of in that mind frame where I was, that I don't know what I want. Shoot, I'd like to buy groceries tomorrow. That's what I'd like. That's great. And so, you're going to start working towards that, but don't be afraid to go even bigger, okay? And decide, you're going to have to believe that you are going to create that for yourself, that you are going to have those things. Whatever it is, the goals that you want, you're going to have to put that belief into it in order for it to make it happen. You're going to have that confidence in yourself to be able to put it out there and to be able to tell your team where it is that you're going, for them to have the belief to come along with you, okay? Because in order for you to be able to create these big goals, and as you heard Becky say the other day, this all happens from team effort. This isn't something that you can do on your own. In the beginning, yeah, you can get to diamond on your own. But to go to these star diamond ranks and to go to these, big income levels, you are going to have your team behind you. So today we're also going to talk about leadership as well. Okay, and if you're having a hard time, if you're missing confidence right now, if you don't feel like you can do these things, you're going to have to start there. You have to lead yourself before you can lead anybody else. And if you need some tips for that, I can tell you right now, and I was reminded about it, these last 3 weeks, start with one of our fitness programs. And not just, I'll do 21-day fix one round. You need to go in there to the point that whether it's Fix Extreme or if you want to take something else that's a little bit more challenging, I'm telling you, when Quarter Force comes out in November, you guys are all going to have a revival. But something that you press play every single day. So if it is fixed, you know what? Great. Do it for 3 rounds. Invest in yourself enough that you get up and you press play every day, even when you don't feel like it. Because you want to know what? At the end of the day, when you feel like crying at the end of the video or in the middle of the video or even before you press play, when you press play anyways, you begin to develop your confidence muscle in yourself. And it's a muscle. It's like anything else. You have to exercise in order for it to grow, right? So you're developing that confidence muscle that, yes, I pressed play. And even if I, had to pause it 3 times or whatever the case may be, you do that over and over and over by yourself in your house, and you become proud of yourself for doing that. And you realize, I can do tough things. And that's going to start building your confidence. And how lucky is it that that's part of our job anyways, okay? So that's going to change your physiology. It's going to help you create that confidence muscle every day, in addition to being proof of our products work, right? And this is really, really important, guys, because 80% of success is psychology, and only 20% is skill. And, so I hope that nobody's already kind of written this off as, oh, it's another personal development call. But if you have, listen to that again. 80% of success is psychology, and only 20% is skill. And so many times we run around looking for the next training and for the next system that can help us. And what's the secret? What is it that she has that I don't have, that she learned that, and yes, there are technical things to learn. Yes, you can learn about Facebook ads. You can use Teams. You can do all these things. And those are all good and great. But can you imagine that that is only 20% factor in your success? And the other 80% is what's going on in your head. That's a big deal, a really big deal. So, everybody says that they want to grow, but not everybody wants to change. And unless you're willing to change, unless you're willing to understand the significance that the mind part has in your success, and you're willing to go through those uncomfortable moments that you're going to have to do in order to grow, you're going to be standing in your own way. So we're going to talk about this more and more and more. And leaders at their core influence. That's what we do as leaders. We don't tell people what to do. That's a boss, right? We're nobody's bosses here. We're all leaders. We're all developing our leadership skills. So we don't tell people what to do. We influence them. And how do you most influence people is when they watch you and see what you're doing. And so in order to effectively influence, aka lead other people, you're going to have to lead yourself first. So that means if you need your team to pick it up on whichever different level, you need to be willing to go there first. Leaders go first. And that goes the same with your attitude towards negativity, okay? So negativity is valid. There's a lot of things that are going to happen to you, that happen to other people, that happen to me, and they are really completely valid, terrible things. Awful, And nobody is saying, well, that just doesn't exist. Just keep on going like it never happened. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that negativity is valid. Absolutely it stinks. Absolutely it sucks. But the amount of energy and suffering that you give to that situation is entirely up to you. Suffering is really a choice. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't grieve. I'm not saying, anything like that. I'm not saying to become a robot. But what I am saying, and I spent thousands of dollars to learn for myself at Date with Destiny, is that in a minute, in the snap of a finger, you can decide to end your suffering. You can decide to stop giving whatever thing that happened significance and energy and your emotional investment. And you can move on from there. And the more that you understand that that's your choice, the more that you're going to be able to move forward and be successful. Negativity is valid. And if you're going to let it run you or your business, it's going to become your business. You're going to wind up with a bunch of negativity sitting in your business. So you need to learn that it's valid, but it does not run you. You run it, okay? You end it. You have the choice to shut things down. Save the drama for your mama. Katie wanted me to say that. And it's true, this is a place of business, even as casual and as family-like as it is. This is a place of business. So you know what? Save the drama. Keep it out of here. And as a leader, you need to instill that, what do you want to call it? That example, and that everybody's laughing. Save the drama. You have to be the leader who says, I am not, I'm not going to play into this. And if that happened to you, I'm sorry. Oh, he said or she said, and they took my... Done. We're not going to play into that. And that ties right into what we just went to Leadership Academy, Christy, Becky, and I. And Tony Robbins says there's 3 mandates of leaderships, okay? And the first one is when a situation occurs, it's your responsibility as a leader to see that situation as it is, not worse than it is, not full-blown worst case scenario, oh my gosh, we're all going to die, Eeyore syndrome type thing. You have to decide, I'm going to see things very factual. This is what happened. This is, I'm not emotionally attaching to it more than I need to. And from there, you decide to see it better than it is. That's step number 2. So you can assess the situation. You're not going to see it as worse than it actually is, even if it feels bad. The second part is you're going to see things better than they are. You're going to find that silver lining. Optimism is not necessarily something that you're born with or not born with. Optimism is just like confidence. These are all things that you can develop. You choose to develop over time. And just like your muscles, these are your emotional muscles. These are your, mental muscles. And if you're not practicing them, they're not going to get stronger. So optimism is a choice. Okay? And maybe it comes more naturally to other people or not, but it doesn't mean that you can never be optimistic. If you've always seen the dark cloud, start doing more personal development. I'm not kidding, because that's what's going to help you start shifting and seeing that, you know what? I had this crappy situation happen, but look what great thing came out of it. Find where you can have gratitude for situations. In every single situation, find something that you can be thankful for even when it's awful, and you're going to start developing your optimism muscle. And that's one of the pieces of being an effective and successful leader. Okay, so the third step out of the 3 is after you've been able to assess the situation, see it not worse than it is, actually find out, how you can see it better than it actually is. The third piece to effectively, knock this out of the park is for you to be able to then create that best case scenario out of whatever it was. Okay? And as you begin to do these things, you're not going to get stuck running in circles. You're not going to be chasing your tail. You're not going to be, running on a treadmill in place. You're going to be moving forward. And even if you get one step back, you keep going forward, forward, forward right after that. And you condition yourself to be able to do that, okay? And so now you're starting to see, right, why success is 80% mental and psychology, right? Good stuff, I hope. And, and this is something, hang on, I'm dying. This is something that we are in a people business, right? We have people as clients. Maybe you have dogs, but most of my clients are all people. All of my coaches are people. If you have aliens, raise your hand. Okay, no aliens. We are in the people business, okay? And if you've got people, you've got problems. It's factual. That's it. But everybody has to go back to those 3 mandates of leadership. And you know what? Not everybody's going to like you. And the quicker that you can understand that it's okay, the quicker you're going to find success. Again, same thing as I was just talking about 1 second before. If you are certain, if you get emotionally hung up, and I'm not saying that it's not going to stink when your best friend thinks Shakeology sucks. If that happens to you, it's going to hurt for a second. But again, you decide how long you're going to spend, how much emotion you're going to give on that before you move forward, okay? And if your thinking is stinking, your team is shrinking. Does anybody want to hang around with Eeyore very long? No. People want to be with a leader who has a very clear vision and who is proactively taking the steps to move towards that, that vision and take everybody with them, right? Everybody wants a ride in the fun train, yes? Yes. And it's going to be how you make other people feel about themselves. You must instill belief in other people, and that begins with your own personal belief. I can tell you right now, Quarter Force is absolutely amazing, and I know that it's going to be an absolute game changer. We haven't had a program like this in a long time, and it not only is incredibly physically effective, but it brings that mental game to an all-time high. You feel amazing. You look amazing. That mental sharpness is there where you feel like you got beat down, but you feel like an absolute badass anyways. Like, it's there. It's the whole package. And when I talk to you about Quarter Force, I bet you can feel my energy and my belief in it, because I do believe in it. And I'm doing these things all the time. And just like that, you need to be participating and learning how to increase your belief in whatever it is that you want. Otherwise, it's going to be very hard to effectively communicate that to other people, okay? And I kind of skipped something that I talked about last night and I wanted to get back to, but it's going to tie in with the next piece. Money makes happy people happier, and it makes bitter people more bitter. And the more money you have, the more income that you can create with this business, it's only going to amplify whatever's on the inside. So that's one of many reasons why you need to get your head right now. Tony Robbins says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Can you imagine when you're making your 6 figures and you have your 12-star diamond bonuses coming in or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you realize, like, man, I'm still not content. I'm still not happy with myself. I'm still not, I hit that number goal that I said I wanted, but I don't feel good. And I don't feel happy with who I am. I still don't know who I am. I still don't know what I want. So I gave an example last night of one of the goals that I had set for myself this year. And going back to your goals, I want you to take those goals that you wrote in our page underneath my thing. And if you didn't write them down, please write them down. Please put them into the universe. The quicker you can say it out loud, the quicker that you can put it out into the universe, the faster you're going to start conditioning that belief muscle, right? So the sooner that you can do that, the better. But I want you to do something, and with that number goal, if your goal was a number goal, I want you to understand what that's going to bring to you. And in order for it to really be able to move you, you're going to need to tie it to something that's very specific. So I've had lots of goals along the way, but one in particular this year that I had was to move my children to private school. Whether their dad wanted to contribute or not, I was going to do that because I felt that my son needed a change. He was in his school, which was a great school, nothing wrong with the school, but it wasn't the best fit for him anymore. And I started noticing that he was, being a little picked on. I started noticing that his grades were declining. I started noticing that when I'd pick him up, his head and his shoulders were down. I started noticing these things that said, you know what, this isn't the best fit for my son. And yes, there's a number associated with private school tuition that I wanted to move him to. Or there's a number associated with when you want to leave your job and become a full-time. But if you're just saying that number, it's a lot more unassociated with your gut than when you say, I want to, and I'll use mine, I want to put my kids in a school where they are absolutely loved, where they're in a small class environment that the teacher knows their name, knows their brother and sister's names, knows my name, knows everything about them, knows what's their favorite school lunch. where she knows how to particularly communicate with my son to bring out the best in him, so that when I pick him up, his head isn't down. He doesn't feel unmotivated and unworthy. He feels good. He feels confident, and that can allow him to grow into this amazing person that he is and reach his absolute fullest potential. That is a lot more connected to me than I want to make 6 figures or whatever number it is. Okay? And same thing for when I was leaving my job. And even if we're on a smaller scale right now, same thing when I first wanted to get Shakeology. I felt like crap. I did not feel sexy. I did not feel like I had energy. I did not feel good in my clothes. I did not feel pretty. And these were all things that I so wanted to change. I wanted to feel good again. And I believed that Shakeology, I sure was smart, wasn't I? I believed that Shakeology was going to start creating that difference for me. And I thought, well, I can't afford it. I'm going through bankruptcy. I'm going through foreclosure. There's a will, there's a way. I'm going to save up all my pennies, get that 1 bag of Shakeology, become a coach, and get 3 people, just 3 people, because that will cover my cost of Shakeology. And it wasn't just a cost of Shakeology. Those 3 people are going to help me bring back my confidence. Those 3 people are going to help me really feel good about myself. Those 3 people are going to make me smile, you know, and that was just the tiny tipping point of what became an awesome revolution, right? But that was what was connected to it. The same thing when I wanted to leave my job and become a full-time Beachbody coach. I didn't just say, well, I want to work from home. I want to be able to pick up my kids. And something else that you can use too is you can use, when you decide what it is that you want to do, and I'll give you an example now with my, leaving my full-time job. I knew that I wanted to be able to pick up my kids at 3:30, not 6 o'clock at night. I knew that I wanted to be able to cook dinner for them. I knew that I wanted to sit down with them and do their homework with them. I knew that I wanted to have a quality of life with them where we sat down and had family time and not just pick them up and go, 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 go. We got to go, we got to go, we got to hurry. Back this, there, and have them think at the age of 6 and 8 that that's life. No, that's not life. Life is to be lived. Life is to be experienced and enjoyed with the people that you love. And I wanted to be able to pick them up at 3:30. I wanted to sit down with them and have after school snack and do their homework. I wanted to cook dinner for them. I wanted to know what they were doing, who they were friends with, and all these different things where I also associated pain with it. And that creates something that we'll talk about on Monday's call with me, Christy, and Becky, but it's leverage. And that's what's going to help move you. When you start thinking about not only what do you want, but also what do you not want. I don't want my kids to be picked up at 6 o'clock. I don't want them thinking that I'm a stressed out, overworked maniac who can only make ends meet barely. I don't want them to think that that's what life is about. I don't want them to, if they grow up and think that life is only about hurrying to work, coming home, throwing together a dinner, going to sleep, waking up and doing it again, then I feel miserable. I feel like I have missed my purpose as a parent and showing them how to enjoy life, how to live life to its fullest, right? And I don't want that. And that's what's going to happen if I don't make this business work for me. And that creates such leverage, such momentum now that I know what I don't want to happen and what will happen if I don't make this change. And when I get crystal clear on what I do want. Okay? Are you guys thumbs up, thumbs down? Are you guys kind of getting an idea there? So now that you know what you want, you've got to act the way that you want. And soon that's going to become what you're doing, how you're living, what you're becoming. If you walk around and just keep it in your head like, oh, I want to be a successful coach someday, and you're a quiet in the closet corner coach that's not even telling anybody about your awesome freaking challenge groups, how do you think that you're going to become a superstar coach? You're not. It's going to be really difficult if you are. Way more difficult than it should be. You need to act right now as if you're a Star Diamond coach. You need to act right now as if you're leaving your job at the end of this year. Why not? Why not you? And the minute that you have that shift in your mind and you begin acting that way, your momentum and your actions that you're doing will follow. And that's going to anybody want the shortcuts to success? Because that's going to do it. I'm telling you, it's the mental shift. Remember, 80% of success is psychology. And I'm telling you, all this stuff that's here. And winning is about fighting, guys. It's not going to be easy. I'd be lying to you if I told you it was going to be easy. And that's why a lot of people are going to quit. I hope it's not you. There's no reason for it to be you. You are part of this select group of people who said, yes, I want more. So I just want for you to have the idea and the mental state going in that this is not necessarily going to be easy. And the minute that you can realize that and recognize that, you know what, when a little punch comes along, that's okay. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. But I think we can all agree after seeing Becky's, call the other day and after her income progression of what she's done in just 6 years, guys. Do you know how fast 6 years is going to go by? So fast. And imagine that you have the same opportunity Becky was given. She started with 0 coaches, 0 clients, 0 volume, and she was able to create that. You and I have that same little opportunity right in our hands, and we can do that. So, there's no reason why you should expect for it to be easy and then, spend an hour pouting or a month pouting or, there's no reason. Understand that this is a marathon. We're here for the long haul. When you think about your goals, get really crystal clear on the 1-year goals, but get even clear on your 5-year goals, on your 10-year goals, on what you want to fulfill with your life, with your legacy. Who is it that you want to be? When you die, what do you want people to say about you? I can tell you what I want people to say about me, just in case I die. Or when I don't. Or in 70 years when that happens. I tell my kids I'm not going to die because I drink Shakeology. But when I die, I want people to say, she inspired me to live life to the absolute fullest. She reminded me to enjoy life. She reminded me and inspired me to just get outside and play. That's the things that I want people to say about me. Okay? And so as I create more income with my business, as I'm able to go play outside, as I'm able to go travel the world and do fun things, I am absolutely fulfilled because people come and tell me, oh, that was so cool that you did that. Maybe I'll do it one day. Yes. My legacy is being fulfilled by me playing. How fun is that? Wow. But it took me a long time to get crystal clear on that. I didn't know what I wanted. And it's through all of this work. So that's going to lead me to another one. And we're almost done. Things are always going to be changing. Okay, so when you hit one milestone in your business, and Becky and Christy and myself, anybody can attest to this, when you hit one milestone in your business, it's going to be what's next. And there's different, stages throughout your business. And, it's always going to be continually changing. So personal development is always necessary. It's just like working out. It's just like brushing your teeth. You don't work out once in January and then say, okay, see you next January. No, these are conditionings and exercises that you have to do ongoing, forever. Even once you can do 15 pull-ups, you want to keep being able to do 15 pull-ups. You're at least maintaining by doing 15 pull-ups every day. Or if you want to grow bigger and have more success and do funner, cooler things, again, you have to continually do that. So some people ask me, you guys know I'm a big Tony Robbins girl. Why are you going to that again? Are you in a cult? No, but if it is a cult, I'm happy to be in it. No, it's because every year, you know what? I'm growing to be a little bit bigger of a person every year. And every year I'm immersing myself. And, for different people, different things work. And what's one cool thing about all of our videos here in the Push? And you'll see that a lot of the Push videos are about mentorship. There's trainings, yes, but that's not necessarily, when we got together as leaders and created the Push group this time, we said, you know what? There's so much training out there. There's YouTube, there's Google, there's all of our group trainings, basics trainings, diamond trainings, this, that, the other trainings. They're on the online office for crying in the mud. And you know what? If you're going to use them, you're going to use them. But what value can we bring to you guys? And it was mostly the mentorship, which is more of the mental angle and the opinions of each of us. So you don't have to agree with this opinion, but one of my opinions is if you're in a place where you can invest in your business, a couple $100 or something like that, there are a lot of really great trainings. I'm doing a Facebook ads training right now. There's Team Z, there's this, that, the other. But if you don't have a handle on this, or even if you do and you want to get even better, get yourself to a live event. There's, to me, and everybody again learns differently, but to me, if 80% of my success depends on my mental state, before I do anything, that's the first thing I'm going to take care of. That's the ratio, if you're a numbers person, that is of probability that I'm going to have the greatest success is if I invest into that mental state, right? And again, that's going to stick with you forever. This is an improvement that you're doing that's going to last you a lifetime. So my first one that I ever went to was Danny Johnson, First Steps to Success. I've been to John Maxwell one-day seminars. I've been to plenty of Tony Robbins things. There's a group of our coaches who are heading to San Jose in California next month for Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within. But he does those a couple times a year. And find a system that complements your personality type. Not everybody is cut out for every different trainer. And if you have questions about particular ones, I'm happy to help answer them for you if I have any ideas or insights. But find something that's good for you and invest in it and understand that this is something that's going to pay off huge in the long run. And as your business grows, as your success grows, I heard something a long time ago that made total sense to me. You want to put almost like if you're doing a budget for your finances every year, put a percentage number next to personal development. Say every year I'm going to give 10% of my budget to personal development. So as your business and your success grows, so is the amount of money that you're investing into that personal development, into keeping your psychology in the right place. Carl says it all the time. He's got life coaches. I mean, it's something, and I'm not saying you have to have a life coach, but just the investment in doing something that will help you is huge. So, definitely you want to do that. And I want to leave you with this. Action, right? So you've heard all these great things. You don't have to have lots of money to start. You can start with Audible books. You can have a free 30-day trial on Audible. Chalene Johnson has a 30-day confidence club. She also has a 30-day free push club. Those are both free groups with 30-day structured programs that will help you tremendously. There's free podcasts. There's all kinds of resources that you can have. You're a leader. You're taking yourself to that next step. Be resourceful and look for them. If you need recommendations, ask around, but take action. Make sure that you are moving in a direction that you're not just thinking about it, but you're attaching your goals to your emotions, you're understanding and creating that leverage for yourself, and you're moving forward with action. And one great thing that Tony said in one of the events that I attended is if death came knocking now, you would beg just for one more week. If you're supposed to die today and he came and you said, just one more week, please give me one more week. You would beg for that. But I want to ask you, what have you done in this last week? Time passes us by so fast, but every single minute is precious. Every single week, every single opportunity is an opportunity that's passing you by if you're not taking advantage of it. And if you're not holding on to it. So don't let death be your teacher. Don't learn that lesson that hard way. Put everything that you've got into the goals that you've set for yourself and into growing yourself and growing your mindset for success in this business. This business model is proven. Our mission is incredible. We're so lucky to be able to do this for work and to actually get paid for it. So just really, please take advantage of it and really get serious about creating that, fortress field of personal development around you that no matter what comes your way, you're going to rebound and keep moving forward. So hope you guys all enjoyed. Sorry about last night's recording, but hopefully this one sticks in the group, and hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Bye.